Good morning, gang. Yes, it's Halloween. Who doesn't need a mask? Maybe you. Me neither. No mask needed here. Good morning to you. It's Wednesday, the 31st of October 2018. Welcome to this horrific, frightening Halloween day. Yes, all over the world, boys and girls, little children are standing by to terrify you in your own homes. Begging, boys and girls, they are begging. They are begging for sweets and chocolates, and you're not to give them any. You'll get all black teeth. They'll have to have all their teeth out, and they'll end up looking like my sister. They'll end up looking like my sister with no teeth in their head and really awful faces and all that. Yes, stand by to go out to your supermarkets today and buy vegetables and fruit. Remember, I told you this the other day on the show. You need to be giving them vegetables and fruit, cutting up little bits of carrots, maybe giving them half an apple or a banana, a little thing of grapes, some blueberries. When they, hello, trick or treat, can you just imagine the look on those pretty little faces when you give them 2 carrots or an onion or a melon? Something like, or an aubergine. They won't even be able to say that one. See, you can teach them as well. You hand them, and what's that? It's an aubergine. And then you say aubergine. No, I don't want to say aubergine. No, say aubergine. Aubergine. That's very good. There you are. You can have it now. And then you pass on the aubergine or carrot or onion or something like that. I think that's an excellent idea. I really do. No sweets for the children, okay? No sweets at all. It's got to be fruit and veg for you today, okay? Right, let's see who's with us this morning. Good morning to those of you. Aha! Periscope working. Good morning to those of you on Periscope. Paul Mossel is there in Birmingham over on the YouTube. Good morning to Claire. Morning, Claire. You're right, darling. Who enjoyed the new opening sequence, which was done at great cost to my time, dear. Takes ages to do something like that, you know. They are all pictures around this area. Most of them within 3 or 4 minutes walk. The castle and the church is about a 5-minute drive from here in a place called Tattershall. The little pub that you saw is just over the bridge. I can walk out of here, walk down the road, and I'm there. And that's it. It's a funny pub. I can't remember what's it called again? Can't remember the name of the pub. But it's got rooms in it as well. And according to someone who lived... Oh, my foot again. I've got a bad foot at the moment. Something wrong with the ligament at my back. I can feel the thing moving now and again if I move my foot in a certain way. Some of the people who live on here, on this in this marina, used to go down there, but they stopped going because they never knew when it was going to be open. They said the bloke often would get to a point where he'd say, OK, we're going to close up now, drink up in 20 minutes. It wouldn't be like closing time. It would be because he fancied closing now. So they don't go in there anymore. But that's where that is, just like 4 minutes walk. The river, as you well know, those of you that watch the show regularly, that's 3 minutes walk from here, 3 or 4 minutes walk through the site, up 4 steps. And I'm there. And yeah, I hope you like that. So that's the opening video we'll be using when we're up here in Lincolnshire in future. All right, Claire, I'm glad that it's appreciated what we do there. Good morning to John Parrish. Morning, John. Let's have a look. I've waited up all night for you yesterday. What, me? I told you sometimes we don't do a show on Tuesdays. Sometimes we don't do one on Saturdays. Indeed, yesterday I didn't get up till 10 o'clock in the morning because it's the long drive up here. Anyway, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay? Paul's getting ready. I love it, Paul. Paul is getting ready at this very moment for the trick. Don't worry about them coming during the daytime. All the little buggers will be at school now. You ain't got to worry about anyone appearing. And if they do knock now, okay, bearing in mind we're in the UK and it's like 9:25 in the morning, they should be at school. So if you get any, you know, like before sort of, I don't know, 3:30, is that when they chuck out of school? If you get any knocks on the doors now and little people are there, oh, hello, trick or treat, you say, just wait there a moment and then go inside and ring up the school. So, hello, I've got 2 of your people here. Yeah, they should be at school. And they'll come round and collect them. The child catcher will come round in a van and whisk them straight into that school where they should be. Report them. Oh, but I'm not feeling very well. Well enough to knock on my door and beg for sweets. No, report them. If you get any children knocking at this time of the day, you need to report them to the local school because that's where they should be at this time. Outrageous. Paul's getting ready, wrapping sprouts in Quality Street wrappers. When you give them to them, oh, they look a bit big, mister. And you can say to them, well, they're just big sweets. And when they get home, they'll unwrap them. A lovely, delicious Brussels sprout waiting to be eaten. Very, very good idea, Paul. I'd not thought of that one. Wrapping Brussels sprouts in sweet wrappers. I like the idea of that, definitely. Good morning, Robert Lunn. Morning to you, Robert, who's got chocolate-covered garlic sweets ready for the little devils. There's another one you can do. And so cheap. Cheaper than buying one of those blooming great things of sweets and what have you, wouldn't it? You just get your garlic bulb, remove it. Oh, there's about 20 sweets in that. Remove the little bits of garlic. What are they called? Segments? Garlic? Cloves. Cloves. Remove the cloves separately. Okay? Wrap them in a little bit of pretty paper. There you go, kids. There is your treat. Sweet treat. Yes. There is your treat today. Some lovely, lovely little garlic-coloured bits of paper. How nice. Or coloured little bits of garlic covered in paper. Hang on, let me just turn my heating down in here. It's very hot in here. In fact, I'm going to turn it off. I don't think I need it on in here once I'm here. 1 minute. I've got an oil radiator in here. I've just bought an oil radiator. I'll tell you about that in a minute. John says, I doubt any kids will turn up at the Gypsy Cat. This is not a Gypsy Cat. This is a marina. I bet you've looked it up. You've seen it now on the opening video, if you were awake enough. Eggplant Paul. What's eggplants? I'm not quite sure what eggplants are. John says, we call them eggplants here like purple. I don't know what that is, an eggplant. Don't know. Well, I don't know. Why do I talk like Jonathan Ross? I don't talk anything like Jonathan Ross. Do you hear me swear? Do you hear me say F words and things like that? No. Paul, maybe Ferrero Rochers would work better. Well, no, don't give them sweets. If you must go out and buy Ferrero Rocher chocolates, buy them, unwrap the sweets, you eat those and use the wrapping for the Brussels sprouts. That's the idea there. Thank you. Over on YouTube, they're on YouTube Live this morning. Who's on Facebook Live with the first in message this morning? It's Adam the Plumber. Good morning, Adam the Plumber. Passeribo, good morning to you. Adam enjoyed the new opening video that you'll be seeing up from up here. Certainly Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, or indeed whenever I'm up here, okay. Good morning to Kevin Webster, who liked the new opening as well. Thank you, Kevin. Very kind. Adam reckons it's a bit like Little House on the Prairie meets Dynasty. Da, da, da. You know there's a new series of Dynasty now on Netflix. Series 2, just as funny as Series 1. You'll love it. If you didn't see Series 1, that's on Netflix as well. The brand new Dynasty. Bad acting, terrible storylines, Fallon being the biggest bitch ever, and it is hilarious. You must watch Dynasty, okay, on the Netflix one, okay. Good morning to Diane. Morning, Diane. She's coming along to the karaoke on Friday. Thank you, Diane. Don't be singing ballads. Tell that bleeding Lazio to choose 2 fast songs and 1 ballad. It's horrendous, these ballads people singing. It was happening again Monday. Did anyone notice? Anyone watching the live stream on Monday? Too many ballads again. You have to keep telling people, otherwise they start doing bloody ballads all the time. We don't want to go home depressed. Dear me, don't put any... I'm not going to take any ballads from you, Diane, because you know damn well you can sing fast songs like, I want to dance with somebody, that's one of yours, with somebody who loves me. Guess what, Diane? No one does. It's the same for me, though, love. We're in the same boat. Well, I thought you were going to bring me a man down at some point. Still waiting. Still... No, not him. No. 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 Good morning, Stuart Skinner. Good morning, young Stuart. Who's enjoying the new opening sequence. Thank you. Any way of removing or making transparent the black around your countdown clock? It's dominating your lovely videos. No, I've looked at it. I don't seem to be able to find a way to do that, I'm afraid. But yes, I see where you're coming from there. it's got to stand out, you see, because the trouble is what happens is that people see it and they don't get the whole idea of why that there is such a long intro. And I'll tell you again, and I often tell people this, but we have new people all the time joining us. The reason there is a long intro before I start talking is to allow people to join. So by the time it's finished, there's a number of people there joining us, already there, you see. So when I start talking, I'm not like kind of talking to myself. If I just switched on the camera and started chatting, you'd miss the first bit. It might be very important. There might be a competition. I could be giving away a car in that first minute of the programme. And if you hadn't clicked on, if there was no lead in and you clicked on, oh, thank you, so congratulations to for winning the car. And you say, oh, I missed that. Well, you won't miss it, will you? Because there's a 5-minute countdown, you see, and that's the reason that long video is there. In years gone by, television, they had things like this. Let me think. Oh, an example would be the BBC schools programmes. Do you remember those? And ITV, all the schools programmes, they all had a countdown on them. I think anything from 1 minute to about 5. And it would say the next programme follows shortly. And there would be some sort of clock or countdown device on there that was counting down. So you'd know, oh, I've got 2 minutes. I can go to the toilet. You know, I can make a cup of tea if you're at home or whatever. I used to love schools programmes, didn't you, when you was off on holiday or sick? If you're off sick, I used to love sitting there and watching all the schools programmes. And the funny thing is, all the time I was at school, this is in the 70s, I don't think we ever watched a schools programme, did you? We never ever watched a schools programme. We had televisions there. What did we use the televisions for? I can't remember. These big televisions they were, you know, the old type, great big box things, and they were on a stand. And this telly used to be wheeled in, and we opened the door, and they had doors on it. So we'd open the doors on it, and there'd be the telly, and they'd put it, and we'd have something on. But I can't remember if we ever watched a schools programme. I remember in primary school, and I would have been about 8 years old, we used to have Time and Tune on, which was a radio programme, and I had that coming through the school speakers in the assembly hall. We used to have that. And it was like a singing thing, and you'd sing, and we'd all have booklets, you know, with songs in, and we'd sing these songs along with the radio programme. That works, but I don't remember ever watching schools programmes. Isn't that strange and mysterious? It really is. Morning, Roy. There's no freebies, I'm afraid. No, none at all. Adam has a great idea for Halloween. Go out and buy some Ferrero chocolate. Take out the chocolate, get a Brussels sprout, melt some chocolate over the Brussels sprouts, and wrap in the Ferrero wrapper. That way the child gets one of their 5 a day and a treat. No, why bother with the chocolate? You give yourself too much work, Adam. Far too much work, dear. Just give them the sprout wrapped up in the paper. Then be done with it, and that's it. Schools half-term off, are they? I think some of them are, some of them aren't. Last week there seemed to be quite a lot of children in the pool. Certainly on, when did I come back from holiday? Wednesday. Thursday and Friday there did seem to be like families in one side of the pool. So I think the half terms, they're not the same the whole country over, are they? They happen at different times. Christina, as a child, my mother used to inspect my Halloween candy and pick out the pieces she wanted. Is that right? Good mother. She's probably saved your teeth for you, Christina. How's life in Portsmouth? I hope it's all right down there. Are you going to do crystal ball reading? Roy says. No, now that I'm a dippo. No, no crystal ball read. Do I look like a dippo? You know, most of them are quite good looking, aren't they? I've noticed that on those programmes. Gypsy Wedding or whatever it's called like that. Diane, I will sing a fast song and one slow song. No, because sometimes you put 4 in, Diane. And that's another thing you do. You keep putting in bits of paper. You know, once you put 3 songs in, please stop. You and him. You and old Lazio as well. And bring down the other lad that I like. What's his name? Can't remember his name now. The mixed race guy. Bring him down as well while you're at it. Thank you. I'm laughing a lot. Of course I'm laughing a lot. I'm a happy person. Happy. Happy. Don't be miserable in your life, Diane. Actually, you're a happy person. What's his name's never very happy, is he? Lazio. He don't smile a lot. It's probably due to all the bloody depressing songs he keeps singing, dear. And I will always love you. Oh, it's horrendous. Not the singing, the song. Good morning to Guillermo. Morning, sir. And there's someone new there, possibly in Australia, on Vaughan Live. Good morning to Khalidad67. A very good morning to you, sir. I'm guessing you're in Australia because you say good day. Trick or treat, Mr. Roy. Can I have some free Jippo Camp Rock? No, there's none. Darren, that's the one, Diane. Bring Darren along this week as well, okay? Morning to Joanna. Just joining us a little bit this morning. John says there are any vans on this site for sale. Yes, there's two actually. There's two for sale. One seems to be particularly expensive. I think it's £24,000, which I only paid £8,000 for this one, as you well know. That's what I paid for this. I'm very, very happy with this. Really happy. But there's one for sale for 28. I've seen them on sale here for £5,000. So you've got everything in between, you see. I'll go and have a look later if you want me to. All right, John. I'll have a look on the notice board because there's a little notice board down the end there, and anything that's for sale generally comes up on there. Good. So a nice night on Monday night at the karaoke. It wasn't massively busy. Most people sang a couple of 4 songs on Monday. So that was nice. Completely different, of course, to Friday night's karaoke this week. If you didn't know already, I host a karaoke night at Central Station. 2 karaoke nights at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross in London on Mondays from 7:30 to 11. And on Fridays from 8:30 to midnight. Friday was mad. It was we had 2 birthdays. Lady Phoenix, who's lovely, and a young lady called Abby. And they had their birthdays, and I think most people sung once. It was that busy. Most people sung once. The few that came in, you know, bang on time, sort of 8 were sitting down ready to start at 8:30. About 5 of them sung twice, and that was about it. It was so busy on Friday night. But Monday was nice. The journey up here, up to Lincolnshire here at Chapel Hill, was fine on Monday as well. No problems at all. About 2 hours, 35 minutes. Not bad. That's about normal to get up here. Although I got in here. My God, it was cold up here. My God, I got in that caravan and I was physically shaking. As I went over to the gas fan. First thing I did, I opened the door, and there was no point in like opening the door and closing it quickly to not let the heat out, because there was no heat. It was so cold. I'd go as far as saying it was colder in the caravan than it was outside. It was really cold, let me tell you. You wouldn't want to stay here. So the first thing I did, because on a Monday I tend to have quite a lot of stuff. Not always a lot of stuff, but on this occasion quite a lot of stuff to bring from the car to the caravan. Now I'm very lucky because I can park the car literally right next to the caravan. So I open my door, go up some steps, and I'm in the caravan, right? And I bought up a couple of carrier bags, and I knew it was going to be cold. I knew it. I haven't really experienced cold here yet until now, right? So I've come up the stairs with the caravan, opened the doors, and I put the foot down. I thought, blimey, it's cold in here. Really cold. So I went straight over to the gas fire, turned that on, pushed the thing around. Now, sometimes the gas fire doesn't ignite on its own. Well, often it doesn't ignite on its own. I don't know why that is. You're supposed to click and it's supposed to work, but it doesn't. So I've got a little lighter thing, you know. So and if you hold that in too long before you light that, you get a like that. You nearly lose your blooming eyebrows. Like dangerous things, dear caravans. You nearly lose your eyebrows lighting this gas fire. So I've turned it on, and then you have to hold it in for a bit. I don't know why. To warm some device in there. So if it was to go off, the gas would cut off automatically, you see. You hold that in, and then once it's like that, and then you turn it right round so it's on full pelt. So that's on now. I've also switched on the fan heater, which is in the living room. Well, it's a living room kitchen. So there's no door in between, which sounds good, and I like that. But it's become apparent to me that actually it's not a bad idea to have it separately, because I have a very large room to heat, right? The living room kitchen area is quite large. If it was halved, it would be a lot easier to heat the thing. But there you go. That's how it is. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I suppose, put a thick curtain between the two. I don't know, but I'll see how it goes. So I've now got the gas fire and the fan heater on in this large room. Right, get on with it. It'll soon be warm. I've put the kettle on. Kettle's on there. Gone back to my car and bringing some stuff from the car. I've got Jimmy's case from holiday. Jimmy is my nephew, my younger nephew. He's 21. He's just been on holiday with me, so I suggested, because he lives up here, of course, with his mum, and he's got a business up here. So when we came back from holiday, he got the train back up here, and I said to him, well, leave your case here, I'll bring it up on the Monday. You don't want to be travelling around on a train with a case if you don't have to. So he did that. So I brought his case up here, as well as a few little presents and little bits and pieces. I bought my sister and my niece a bag from Armani. Oh yes, Armani bags. Now don't get too excited. I got them from a discount shop. A discount, no, they're not discount shops. What are they called? Designer outlets. So they are nowhere near, by the time they get to the designer outlets, they are nowhere near the price that you would pay for them in a proper Armani shop on a high street. Or not necessarily on a high street, would it be? In somewhere like Knightsbridge or in one of the hotels in Vegas. Once they've got to the outlet, they're substantially cheaper. So I got two of those, and I got the children little bags, you know, just like tourist type bags with Vegas written on. And I also got some t-shirts for the two babies, although I couldn't find baby t-shirts. So I just got adult small size, and they were a little big. Let me show you this. Here's Olivia's one. Look. There's Olivia's new t-shirt, which Stacey, who's her mother, this is Gary's little girl. She's the little disabled one. As you can see, it's slightly too large for her. They've decided that she's going to use it as a bed thing. Oh, what do you call it? A bed thing. Oh, hang on a minute. I can't find my camera now. Where's my camera gone? 1 minute. There we are. Oh, I disappeared for... You see me disappear for a moment there? So, and that's it. And also, baby James' one is exactly the same size as that. So they will use it as night shirts. And my other nephew, I bought an Armani hat. Again, you get this stuff much cheaper than you would do in a normal shop. So that's what I bought them. So I unloaded the car and done myself some dinner. What did I have? I had corn lasagna. It was a pre-made meal. Corn lasagna and a tin of baked beans, chili baked beans that I got from the tin shop. Now, what's the tin shop? I'll tell you about the tin shop in a moment. So I had that, sat down in front of the fire. And, you know, also I put on I got a little fan heater in the bedroom. Put that on. Oh, I bought another fan heater this week from Audrey because they were only 10 quid. Bought one from Audrey. I set that up in the little hallway in between all the rooms. So as you come in the door, as you come in the caravan door, right, on the right is where I am, the little mini studio. Then just to the right, centre right, is the bedroom. Straight ahead is the bathroom, and left is the living room kitchen. So I've got a little heater for that area. I've turned that one on as well, on low. And then I'm in the kitchen now, and I noticed the kettle was boiling. And I'm just about to go over that, and suddenly everything went off. Everything went off in the caravan. I'm now in pitch darkness with only the light coming from the gas fire. Oh my God, what's happened now? And it's cold. It's cold. I thought, and the first thing that went through my mind was, I'm not going to be able to have any dinner. But of course, I've got a gas cooker, so I could do some beans and that. It's the first thing that goes through my mind. Not why has it gone out. All the electric's gone off. And it's freezing cold. And it's now 2 o'clock in the morning. So I thought I'm going to have to sleep in the living room by the fire, because now it's reasonably warm. It warms up within 25 minutes, I would say. It's no longer cold. So it doesn't take long to heat up at all, does it really? And I thought, maybe I've overloaded the system. So I went around and I turned off a couple of fan heaters. And I went round I've got a fuse cupboard here. I went in there, fuses are all on. Then I went out by the side of the caravan where there's like an electrical thing with 3 buttons in it. And I looked at that, and that's like a fuse thing, you know, they're up and down. So up is on, down is off. And they're all up. But there's no little light flashing on the meter. And I thought, oh, that's strange. Everything's on, and yet my electricity's gone off. That's it. I'm going to have to sleep by the gas fire. And I come back in and I thought, what can be done? I'll go back out and turn the thing on and off and see what happens. So I've turned the big switch. There's like a big blue switch. I've turned that off, pushed it back up again, and suddenly the light starts flashing. I thought, aha! And I saw the lights come back on in the caravan. I thought, I have been saved. Excellent. So I've come back in. And I thought, okay, that's sorted then. So I've put the kettle on. And then a few moments later, it's all gone off again. Twice now. I've gone back outside because I know what to do now, you see. Know what to do now. I thought, well, that's odd. I still haven't sussed out in my mind what's causing this. Come outside. Turn the thing off. Turn it on again. Once again, the little light starts flashing. The lights have come in on the caravan. Come back into the caravan again. So I thought, well, maybe I've got too many heaters on. So I've turned... Because some of the heaters are back on now. I can't remember what I've done now. I've gone in the bathroom and turned that one off. And then put the kettle on again, and everything seemed all right. So that's it. And it hasn't gone off since. So clearly, I thought to myself, well, you can't have all the heaters on at the same time. That must be the reason. And indeed, yesterday I spoke to my brother-in-law, who used to be an electrician, Martin, my sister's husband. And he says, yeah, you haven't got as much, you've got nowhere near as much electricity coming into a caravan as you do your home, your house at home. So that's the reason for that, you see. So it's not really a problem. You just have to know in your head that you can't have everything on at the same time. And Martin reckons it's like the kettle. The kettle is the thing that takes most amps or whatever it is, electricity, out of the wires. Okay? So if you're going to use the kettle, you don't really want many heaters on. If at all, maybe one. So how many did I have on when it was all right? I had 2 on. 2. Any more than 2 heaters and the kettle, and it clicks off. They're 2 kilowatt heaters. Then it clicks off. So that was it. And funnily enough, so I'm now sitting there. I've done my dinner. Oh, and the microwave as well. The microwave as well was on as well. Remember that? Okay, that was on as well, doing my pre-packed lasagna thing. So I'm now sitting by the fire. I've got the telly on, and I'm nice and cosy. And the heavens opened, and I thought, my God, you've just been lucky. I've just managed to get the electric on, not having to go outside again, and it poured down. And if you've ever been in a caravan when the rain comes down, it's not loud. It's nice. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's nice to have that when you're sitting inside. I didn't have to go out again. So I had my dinner and went straight to bed. Now, as I said, I've got a little fan heater in the bedroom. I am not cold at all at any point during the night, except when I leave my bedroom to go to the toilet. And for some reason last night I did that 4 times. I don't know why. And I froze every time. I'm wondering at some point if I go into the toilet and have a wee and realise that the water in the bottom is frozen. I'm waiting for that one. Does that ever happen? Well, we used to have outside toilets years ago, you may remember, didn't you? Outside toilets, oh yes. The bed was a bit, I've got to say the bed was a bit cold, but that's because I've got my summer sheets. I had my summer sheets on. So yesterday morning, the first thing I did was I thought I bought a duvet set up, but I didn't. So I've bought my flannelette sheets, my brushed cotton sheets. They're up here, the bottom sheet. So I've taken all the stuff off the bed, gone into my bag, I've put the sheet on. I thought, okay, now I'm looking for the brushed cotton flannelette type duvet set. No, haven't brought it with me. What an idiot. What an idiot. Haven't brought it with me. So I had to change that into like another normal summer type thing. But it's actually it's the sheet on the bottom. That seems more important than actually covering the duvet. If that sheet on the bottom is like your nice, lovely cotton, satiny type thing, oh, that's cold on the feet. Really cold on the feet. So I've changed the bed. Then I've come into my living room. This is yesterday morning. So I've sat down there. Oh, do you know, is it my peel time yet? No. As I say, 10 o'clock, I've had my breakfast, and then I went to install my new duck blind. Would you like to see it? My new duck blind. Have a look at this. Do you like these? Yes, look at that. How fantastic is that? That is installed in the kitchen. And I did that yesterday morning at 10 o'clock. I thought you'd like that. It's a little bit smaller than the other one, but it's okay. I'm not quite sure it fits properly, but Kris Reardon DIY Services moved into action and shoved that duck blind up. I hope you like that, boys and girls. And then what happened after that? Sharon and Martin and Gary came round. Gary's my other nephew. Sharon and Martin, sister and husband, brother-in-law. And we went to the tin shop. Now, the tin shop... Now, some people I tell about this, and they're a bit funny with it. A bit funny with it. My best mate is absolutely horrified that I would go to such a place. As indeed is my younger nephew, Jimmy, who only found out on holiday that his mother, my sister, and I have started going to the tin shop. Now, I've taken a picture also of the tin shop. There it is. That is the tin shop, where people can go there and buy much reduced price. Oh, hang on. What's that there? Much reduced price on the tins. Why has that picture changed? 1 minute. Where's that? Put that back there. There we are. That is the tin shop. And there you can see, held in my little hands, just one little lot of tins that I purchased there. And you get them for vastly reduced prices. That's the tin shop on the left, okay? That's where it's like a porter cabin thing. And that's on the right there is where the goods come in, where all the cheap stuff comes in. And you go there, and it's full of actually not just tins, but other bits and pieces, packets of stuff like pasta, gravy, flour, cake mixes, all sorts of stuff in there. And it's quite old in there. You can see it's been there a while. There's all these like wooden shelves that have been built, and a lot of them are bowing in the middle through the weight of all these tins. And there's a lady in there who's very, very nice indeed. And I said to her, how long have you been here? She said, oh, about 40 years. The place has been there 40 years. Well, I was 15 when they put that up. How marvellous is that? And it's much... Now, why are the tins cheap? A lot of them are out of date. That's why. In fact, those beans that I've bought are 6 months out of date now. It says best before May 2018. But there's nothing wrong with them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them or anything else in there. And I spent 20 quid in there yesterday. And for that, I bought 12, 24, 36 cans of those baked beans. I bought 10 lots of Smash. The Smash was £1. You know Smash? The tubes of dried potato, which I tend to have that a lot when I come in from work because it's so quick. You just put in the boiling water and it's done. And they're only £1. They're usually £2 or just over £2 in the shops. They're actually in date, those ones, through till June next year. The baked beans were 20p a can. They're usually about £1. So you can see enormous savings to be made there. It's a bit hit and miss. You might go in there one week and there won't be anything you want. But there's soup and there's peas and there's vegetables in cans, all sorts of stuff. Anyone else go anywhere like that? Anyone else got a tin shop near them? So it's great, really, isn't it? Eh? I think it is anyway. I don't know why people have got a problem with me going to the tin shop. My mate told the girls in Waitrose that I go there and they said, did he want to die? You're going to die eating cans of food, are you? Dear me, nothing wrong with them. So I did that. Came back here, had a bit of lunch, had a sleep. Went over to my sister's house because I've bought a new oil heater. Now, I've got one in here, which is a small one. I bought a slightly larger one for the living room in the idea that I can fit it to a timer switch and it will come on and warm the place up. Now, I've got to say, I set it up last night. You had to screw wheels on the bottom and that sort of thing. And I had it on the timer this morning to come on at 6 a.m, knowing full well that I'd be in my living room at about 8 a.m. And I've gone in there and I've opened the door, and I have to be honest, it's not really made much difference at all, if any. I think the room is too big for the heater. That's all I can think of. I have used, if I use fan heaters in that room, that seems to work all right. Now, I told you I got a fan heater in my bedroom that comes on and off, okay, at night, and I'm never cold in there. So what I've done now is moved the new oil radiator into my bedroom. And I tried, that was before I came and spoke to you, and that had already cooled down, because once I've woken up, I turned the fan heater off and opened the door and window to give it a bit of an airing. So it was cold by the time I went in there. So I've moved the oil radiator. I don't think it can cope with the size of the room. That's not going to work in there, unfortunately. So I've now put that in the bedroom, and I closed the doors and windows for a little while, and while I had my breakfast. And when I went in there, it was nice and warm. So it will work perfectly all right in the bed, because the bedroom is only small. It works all right in the bedroom, but it can't heat that big room. I'd need a few in there. What does heat that big room is the gas fire and a fan heater. Now, I had a fan heater set up in there as well on last night, and I had it set up to come on at 10 o'clock. Or was it 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock? I can't remember. I think 10 o'clock, knowing full well that I'd get back here for about 11 o'clock last night. And I come in and it had taken the chill off. I wouldn't say it was warm, but the chill had gone. You know, that nasty chill that you get when you go somewhere. So I'll leave the new oil heater in my bedroom. Also, it doesn't make so much noise. I mean, fan heaters, they are quiet, but in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, middle of the countryside, they sound a lot louder than they really are, I think. With an oil radiator, all you got is the click, isn't it? Click, click, as the thermostat switches it on and off. So that may be a better idea anyway. So that's kind of worked out all right. But I think a fan heater in the living room is the only way I'm going to be able to warm that up before I actually get here. And the main warmth, of course, comes from the gas fire, which is just fantastic, the gas fire I've got in that living room. I went over to see the children swimming yesterday. They have a swimming lesson on Friday, which is part of a school. So I went there with my sister and my niece. Who else went? And of course the four of the children. There was George, Evie, Harry, and Emily. Emily is very excited because Emily has invited me round to her house, my niece's house, for, and I quote, witches food tonight. Guess what we're having tomorrow, Kris? Witches food. So I'm having witches food over at my niece's house tonight that I'm looking forward to. And they're all doing really well with the swimming, I have to say. No one's got rubber rings on and bands round their arms or anything. They're having swimming lessons. And poor George, he's the 6-year-old, he's my niece's son. He got a nosebleed last night in the pool. So he came out of the pool. He swims quite close to the wall. I think he's a little bit fearful of the water. So now and again he'd grab the wall and stop swimming. The best swimmer, of course, I have to say, is Evie. She's really good. She's really good at the swimming. I noticed that. Harry goes up and down. He's a bit fearless as well, Harry. That's my my nephew's son. Absolutely fearless. Wow. And it's wonderful to see how well they do. Because, of course, I've been in the pool with them when we've been to Haven holidays. And you're kind of, holding them up or pulling them around. Now they're just swimming on their own. And it's marvellous to see how well they're getting on like that. They were quite mad in the dressing room once they realised I was there. Went over to Gary's house. His wife, Stacey, cooked me the most beautiful lasagna. She does it in a slow cooker. Corn lasagna. And she's given me the recipe, so I'm going to have a go at that. Corn lasagna, very, very nice indeed. I ate far too much of it. You know, a slow cooker, the large slow cooker, well, it was about 3/4 of that I had. I've got a small portion that I've got for lunch. Well, I'll have to do some beans or something with it. I'll still be hungry. I'll be able to have a tin of beans from the tin shop. That's what I'll do. So then after dinner, we mucked around with the kids for a couple of hours. They're lucky. My nephew's wife lets them stay up a little bit later when I'm there. So we mucked around with those. I had a few fights with Harry because he likes fighting. He likes to be picked up and chucked back down onto the settee. Or he starts kicking me, trying to hurt me. No, it doesn't hurt, Harry. No, it doesn't hurt. And all the time you're going, oh, that really hurts. And then I read them a story. When I say I read them a story, they don't sit there yet and listen intently. Funnily enough, my niece's children do. They're happy to sit there and just listen. These two, they both want to read the story as well. And Evie can read quite well. She's 6. Harry's learning his reading because, of course, he's 2 years. Is it 2 years? 1 or 2 years younger than Evie. So he's not far along with the whole reading thing. So she reads quite well, doesn't need any help at all. He needs a lot of help with hers. So I kind of read it. Once she's read hers, but she don't want to know after that. And she's, I'm going to sleep now, good night. And so I'm reading this with Harry. She's turned up and she's got up from bed. Oh, can you read more quietly so that I can go to sleep? I beg your pardon? Sorry? Rude. Got back here about 11:30. And I think I just went straight to bed once I got back here. And I'd set the fan heater up on the timer, and that worked quite well. That certainly took the chill off the room, so that's the way to do it. And that was my day yesterday. Right, let's have a look here. Who's talking to me? Where should we go? Let's go to Facebook Live first. Good morning. Gary Butler, who says I broke his TV last night. Gary's my nephew. No, I didn't break the TV. What they were having was really slow internet. I mean, they're supposed to have broadband there, or ADSL, whatever it's called, you know, through the phone wires. He was getting like 0.2 of a meg. The upload was barely registering, so I suggested they turn off the router and turn it on again. So they did. And then the telly wouldn't work. It took about 10-15 minutes to get this thing going again. And of course, Harry, I don't know what it is about Harry. He's constantly trying to get me into trouble. Mum, Kris has broke the telly. Mum, Kris has done this. Mum, Kris has done that. Mum, Kris has used a bad word. It's like that all the time, trying to get me into trouble. And yet, if I see him do something bad, I don't tell anyone because I don't want him to get into trouble. I mean, it's got to be both ways, mate. I'll have to have a word with that boy. Morning to Hayley. Diane, we close our caravan. Oh, we close our caravan up. We open again in April or before. Yes. On this site, there are 2 months that I can't come here unless I want to do maintenance. That's allowed. But there are 2 months I can't come here. Most people... indeed, they've stopped now. They've stopped coming now. We see them again in April. There are a few people here, which is great because they keep an eye on the site. But there's not many of us here at all at this time of year. Once it gets cold, they go. But then you have to remember, other people, they don't have a reason to be here other than it's summer. Do you know what I mean? I have a reason to be here. I've got family here. That was the whole point of buying this. So I can be closer to my sister and all her family. That was the whole point of buying this. So I have a reason to be here. The other people that come here for the summer, no, once the summer's over, oh well, no more point in being here. So they've gone, which is great actually because it's really quiet. And I like solitude. I like quietness and solitude a lot of the time. I really do. I can't bear noise and people grabbing you all the time. Oh no. Good morning to Ethai in South Carolina. Very good morning to you, sir. Is it... I don't know if that's a man's name or a woman's name. Athai, do tell us. All right, welcome to the show in South Carolina. And Abrazak, our good friend Abdirazak is there. Morning to you, sir. Hope you're well and it's nice and warm where you are. It's very cold here. Adam, what about a night? What's a night arouse heater? I don't know what that is. A night storage heater. No, because I've only got one lot of electric here. I've only got like normal electric. There's no night tariff and day tariff. It's just on the normal tariff here. So it doesn't matter what time it's on, it's always going to cost the same. Possibly a convector heater on the wall might be better. Convector heaters are quite fast, aren't they? Possibly a convector heater, yeah. So maybe one more heater on the side there. I don't know yet. But certainly that oil radiator did not cope at all. Didn't make much difference at all in the living room. As I say, in the bedroom, it's perfectly all right. It's nice and warm in there. It's nice. It's working in there all right. Good morning, Adrian Richardson. Good morning. Who's had an engineer at his house? Have you? What have you had done this morning? Morning, Michael Lawrence. Don't worry about being late. No apologies are needed. You know, I just take it as an insult, really, to be honest, Michael. It's an insult. People just stroll into the show at any old time they feel, don't they, eh? Especially you, Adrian. Are we meant to be listening to you with intent as well when you read stories to us? Yes, please, if you don't mind. The trouble is, if I'm telling a story, you may notice once I've started telling a story, I stop the messages. If I keep looking across at messages and reading them out while I'm doing a story, it just all falls apart. You can't keep doing the story because it breaks you, and then you come back to the story and you can't remember where you are. You know, that just doesn't work. I've tried it before, so that's why I do stop there. Ethe, I beg your pardon, Ethe. Is it Ethe? Is a female. Okay, so it's a lady's name. Thank you, darling. It's cold here this morning and bloody early at just after 6 a.m. Am I a breakfast show in South Carolina? It's breakfast time. Oh, yes. In South Carolina. I hope I'm more interesting than those people on LBC or something like that. Or CBS or wherever you're on there. Good. Let's have a look here. Bum, 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 bum. We'll just go back on there. There we are. That's it. Yes. Khalidad is indeed in Australia. I thought you were there. Well, welcome to the show, sir. It's just a little bit of fun we have every morning. Sometimes we do some news stories. Sometimes just general chit-chat, anything like that, okay? John is serious about buying one of the caravans. You won't see us, I promise. I hope not, John. Don't start coming round and inviting yourself round here for free tea and cakes. That's why I'm here. Solitude and quietness, dear. I don't want all people knock. Oh, hello, Kris. Just pop round to see how you are. Don't want any of that. Thank you very much. I'm quite happy sitting here on my own in front of my nice gas fire. I'm waiting. I haven't experienced yet changing a gas bottle. That's coming. It will probably come in the middle when it's snowing and freezing outside and I've got to go outside with a spanner and change the gas bottle over. I've not experienced that yet. And they're not carrier bags, Armani carrier bags, no, Paul. I didn't show them to you, actually, did I? I'll ask my sister if I can borrow a caravan to show you. Get a whistling gas kettle for winter time. No, I don't know how long a gas kettle would take on that stove. I remember in camping, when I was in the Scouts, now we generally boiled water on an open fire, which didn't take long at all. We had one of those G-A-Z, we had a gas stove, and we put the kettle on there. Oh my God, it takes forever. Have you ever tried boiling a kettle on one of those? And I wonder if it would be the same on this. But actually, I could just try boiling a pan of water and seeing how long that takes, couldn't I? Might be better to do it that way. Good morning to Weird City Citizen. Who's is that the jacket you bought in Vegas? No, I didn't. I ended up not buying one of those. You remember, those of you that saw my videos that I did from Vegas with my nephew last week. Was it last week? Do you know I've been back a week? Can you believe that? I've been back a whole week since we was in Vegas in that lovely warm weather out there. I'm just checking the temperature out there now. 26, 27. You know, sort of 75, 80 degrees out in Vegas at the moment. Here we are, struggling to get above 0 degrees. Oh, so cold. But it's going to be warmer apparently at the weekend. Some hurricane or something is sucking up a load of warm air from somewhere. So it's going to warm up and the winds are going to turn around and come from the south at the weekend. I was just watching the weather forecast this morning. Oh, that was funny. The weather forecast this morning, it was Miss Kirkwood, Carol Kirkwood again, and she was doing it from Brompton Cemetery. Some of you may or may not know some stories about Brompton Cemetery. And I was watching this and chuckling to myself, if only you knew, dear. She's doing the weather from Brompton Cemetery. How awful. Dead people walking around all over the place. Paul says you'll probably fart louder without a date beans. I do hope so. Which indeed it is a bonus, weird city citizen. Paul Mosley. Go to Wilkinson's if you have one. Electric heaters, £27. They're 2 kilowatts and a powerhouse. 5 minutes and it's 25 degrees. Really? Could you send us a link with one of those, weird city citizen? Possibly on my Facebook, or if you want to send it over an email, Kris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address, and I'll have a look at those. Might be worth having a look at one of those. Wilco, I know Wilco. Yeah, although there isn't one near me, actually, made by Daywoo. Okay, Economy 7. No, I don't have Economy 7 here. There isn't Economy 7. John will bring me tea or coffee. No, you're not coming round here, John. You're not coming round here, mate. Thank you, Weird City Citizen. Much appreciated to you. Let's have a look there. There we are. Adrian, computer, home, heating, water, fit engineer, showing off his six-pack. One more engineer this afternoon. Let's see what he can do. What's gone wrong? Have you got no hot water? Oh, it's awful, isn't it? When your heating goes in the middle of winter. It's like the air conditioning. It's like air conditioning only goes wrong in the summer, doesn't it? You've noticed that in this country. Don't go wrong in America or Australia. Air conditioning, very good. This country, we can't do it. Can't do it. Doesn't work. Hello to Angela Waters in Melbourne, Australia, who's played a golf tournament last Monday and fell out of the golf cart, cut her lip. Well, you must have been going very, very fast, dear. What's going on there, Angela? You're going too fast in that golf cart. My nephew wanted to play Top Golf. Have you been to one of those? In Vegas, and we did go there. Don't know if you saw the video of that, Angela, but he had a good time. I had a go at it, but it wasn't really for me. Besides, I couldn't hit the ball properly, could I? And to think, a couple of years ago, I was thinking about taking up golf. And on this, you're kind of in this big stadium and you just whack these balls out into the big holes. He was very successful at it. I didn't even go in the right direction, unfortunately, Angela. Good morning to Ray Reynolds this morning. Morning, Ray. Just joining us. Bit late, aren't you, Ray? You missed the opening video, Ray. You missed the new opening video. Very. I'll cut and paste it onto your wall when I finish the show. Okay. Adam. I don't know, Kris, all these snowflake viewers you have. We don't have any snowflake viewers here, Adam. If you're a true United Kingdom Talk fan, roll, then you say on from where you roll the 5-minute video to when you get the broadcast interrupted at the end of the show. Some people have no stamina. No stamina at all, I'm afraid. That's right. Roy says, I hope he gets snowed in. What? I'd be here forever then, wouldn't I? Wouldn't have to leave. I would imagine, actually, once snow falls and it collects on your roof, it would be warmer. Because snow is a great insulator. Oh, yes, it is. Why do you think Eskimos build those little places out of their bricks of snow and what have you? Very good insulator, snow, as it happens. Morning to Alan Russell. Good morning. It's his mum's birthday today, the wicked old witch. Oh, that's awful. What a dreadful thing to say about your mother. 76 years old today. Rosalie. Are you a gypsy, Rosalie? Yes. Let me tell you what's in my crystal ball. Gypsy Rosalie. Can you tell me what's in your crystal ball this morning, Rosalie? I want to know. Is there anyone for me in this sad life? Is there anyone for me? I don't know. Adrian, can you talk quietly? The engineer keeps looking at me. I bet you. Yeah, watch him, Mr. Engineer. He's got hands all over the place, that Adrian. Ray saw the whole thing, but you didn't get messages. No, I didn't, Ray. I didn't get your messages. First message I've got this morning is from Adam the plumber. That's the first message I've got this morning. I'm afraid, unless it's come up, unless it didn't pick up on that machine. Let's have a little look here. Shall I have a look here? Let me have a look for you, Ray. Because sometimes it doesn't catch the first lot of messages over there for some strange, mysterious reason. Right, hang on a minute. Let's see if I can find you on here. Da ba ba da ba. But we haven't got time. We haven't got any time for any news stories today, have we? Do you want me to do news stories as well? Do I need to do news stories? Right, hang on a minute. Let's go. Can I go backwards? No, I can't go back any further than that. Oh, the first one I've got there is there, but never mind. Never mind. If I ever miss out, you know, if you ever send a message early and you find it doesn't come up first when I start reading the messages, you know it hasn't appeared in front of me. So that happens sometimes. What did you say, Ray? Let's have a look here. Ronnie is the only man who loves you. Ronnie doesn't love me, dear. Believe me. Oh no. Anyway, that's our little bits and pieces. What else have we got? Even Paul says it would be terrible if you get snow. You can get wood burners for caravans. Yes, indeed, John. In fact, my neighbour across has installed one himself. And let me tell you, it's really warm. It's lovely. He's got a lovely wood burner. But they take a while to get going, don't they? You see? I mean, if the gas fire, I've just got to turn it on and not worry about the gas that it's using. I don't know how long a great big bottle of gas lasts on a gas fire. It depends how long you have it on and all that. So I'll just go with it and see what happens. All right, that's what I'll do. Okay, a couple of stories for you this morning. Here we go. Now, oh, wasn't it terrible? Italy, have you seen Venice? 10 people are dead. It's all underwater. I've never been to Venice. Now, I always think, is Venice in Austria or Italy? Which is it? Anyway, in the Sun this morning, it tells the story deadly storms have battered Italy with 110-mile-an-hour winds, flash flooding, killing 11 people. I said 10, didn't I? 11, at least 11 people. One woman was buried by a landslide. A 61-year-old man who was swept away from his car by the floodwaters in the north of the country. And I don't know if you can see that picture there. There we are. It's in the Sun this morning. Look, it's all underwater. Is Venice, is that where it is all canals and all that? I didn't know they could flood like that. Killer storms have lashed Italy. Oh, it's Italy. For 2 days in succession, resulting in some of its most famous landmarks being closed and forcing tourists in Venice to wade through knee-high waters. Many of the deaths were caused by trees crashing down on cars and crushing pedestrians. Have I got any trees here? Oh, no, but I've got a big post there with a lamp on it out there. That could come down and crush me, couldn't it? No one cares. Look, no one cares. You don't care anyway. You don't care. So awful what's happening. There's another picture there of a car being crushed. And do you think this is down to global warming? I don't know. Or is oh, look at these 2 boats crashed. Look at that. Awful. And there's another picture of that. That river looks quite ferocious, doesn't it? I can't imagine what it's like to be flooded. It must be just absolutely horrendous. You know, because it's not, a lot of people think, oh, it's just a bit of water. No, it's sewage and everything gets into your house. Oh, it must. I just can't imagine being flooded. Awful. John says, get another bottle of gas. Well, I've got 2. I've actually got 2 bottles of gas. I don't know if you've sent a link there, John, but it hasn't appeared, mate. There's no link appeared there at all. Can't see a link there. Okay, I've actually got 2. I have got 2 bottles of gas here. One's on and one's next to it waiting to be used, you see. Angela, are you trying to grow a pump beard? What's a pump beard? I don't know what that is. A pump beard. Pump. No, I don't know what a pump beard is. Venice is in Italy. Thank you very much. Angela's been to Italy. She says it's an amazing place. All underwater because it's got too many cruise ships in it. Is that right? I have a lot of ships and people visiting like that. One more story for you today. Now, toilet paper. Who's having a breakfast? That lady in South Carolina. I'm sorry. If you're having your breakfast, what are you having for breakfast? Oh, have you ever had an American breakfast? Oh, you just keep eating. Oh, it's wonderful. Especially my favourite American breakfast is pancakes dripped in maple syrup. While I was on holiday in Vegas, we were staying at the Excalibur Hotel and they did an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. And I did eat as much as I could. I started off with porridge. Now, if you're back home, you'd have porridge and then that would be it, wouldn't it? But no. So I started off with porridge, excuse me. Then I had some scrambled eggs with a bit of tomato sauce and some French toast. The French toast is to die for. It's got a bit of cinnamon in it. I don't know, do they dip it in eggs or something? That is delicious. And that was followed by pancakes and waffles covered in maple syrup. No wonder I put £5 on while I was in holiday. Oh, absolutely delicious. Yes. Breakfast in America. Ethan, I'm British, so I'm keeping breakfast simple. Vegan raspberry waffles and a cup of... Are you vegan? Oh, wow. I'm vegetarian. Veganism is on the rise all over the world. Veganism is where you eat things that are nothing to do with animals at all. So for an example is you wouldn't even be able to have honey or milk or anything like that. I would like to be vegan at some point. At the moment, I'm vegetarian. People say, well, why are you vegetarian? Because I've watched too many YouTube videos of how animals are treated so badly by some of these factory places. It's just horrendous. If you ever get a chance, please watch some of those YouTube videos. It may well turn you vegetarian at all as well. Angela says, an Aussie breakfast, the best egg, and you wouldn't have eggs either if you were vegan. No eggs. Aussie breakfast, the best egg, bacon, sausages, smashed avocado and smoked salmon with horseradish hollandaise sauce on the eggs with a tomato. Well, that sounds very nice as well. Thank you, Roy. I've got that link now. That link is there now. But yes, I absolutely love the American breakfasts. Have you ever had a stack of... If you ever go to America, right, go to Denny's, Dennys, and order a stack of pancakes and cover them in maple syrup. Let me just think of that now. Oh, what did I have today? Overnight oats. That's porridge oats, fat-free yogurt and blueberries layered. You do it the night before or the day before, then you mix it all up just before you eat it. It's quite nice, but it's not like a stack of pancakes covered in sticky maple syrup. Such happiness. And just to put on an extra pound of weight, isn't that worth it? Angela says the cows in Italy for Reggiano Parmesan cheese do not see daylight or eat grass. They are factory raised. Yes, I've seen that. Parmesan cheese is very cruel the way that's made. It really is. Again, all these videos are on YouTube. Look them up and educate themselves and then make your own minds up. Unless you're one of those people, there's plenty out there who say, I don't want to know. You know, they sit there eating a dead cow or a dead duck or something like that. They don't want to know how it arrived. The fact that it's in a supermarket with a bit of plastic, what do you think? Where do you think that's come from? You know, someone's made it in a factory. Well, it's like a factory there, really. Anyway, that's another subject. It's a little bit too serious for us, I think, on our show here. Angela went to the factory, very sad. Yes, I think there was a programme on Channel 4 here where a group of people they went to watch goat curry being made, but they watched it from the beginning. So the goats come into the factory, and I'm just going to leave it there because I get upset, and they watch the whole thing right the way through to the goat curry arriving on their plate. Oh, no, I can't even go there. Let's not even talk about it, okay? Roy says you can't beat a bacon sarnie with brown sauce. No, I don't really have Parmesan cheese. No, that's really, really very cool. I eat very little cheese, actually. There are actually some vegan cheese. There are some, it has to be said, there are some vile examples of vegan cheese. They just taste disgusting. I'm sure you've tried some of them. But similarly, there are some that are okay. Violite is pretty good. I think Sainsbury's do that. Violite. V-I-O-L-I-T-E. Violite cheese. I think it comes in slices. That's not bad at all. But I have had some vegan cheeses. Really disgusting. So you've got to find the right brand. And it's the same with soy milk. I drink soya milk. I have soya milk in my tea. And you want to get the soya milk that is unsweetened. Don't buy the sweetened one because it'll have a taste to it. Soya milk, unsweetened soya milk. And I have to say, I'm afraid, Outpro, a couple of years ago, if you've been with the show for some time, you'll know this. Outpro, a couple of years ago, introduced, for some unknown reason, a taste into their unsweetened soya milk, which just made it taste vile, absolutely vile. So I stopped buying that one and I moved on to one of the supermarket owned brand. Most of the supermarket owned brand soya drink, it's just like milk. It's got no real taste to it at all. And you can just put that in your tea and that works just as well as milk. So yeah, I'm on the soya milk. Ethe, food options are improving as more people go vegan. Yes, they certainly are. There's a lot more coming along. I don't know if you eat many Quorn products. Do you? Q-U-O-R-N. Do you have Quorn there? I eat quite a lot of their stuff. And indeed, last night, my nephew's wife, she had a spare bag of frozen Quorn in the freezer. And she made me a Quorn lasagne, which was absolutely delicious with the white sauce on top and all that business. Morning to Russ Philip Vernon joining us this morning. Morning to you, sir. All right, one more story then. And it's about toilet paper. Let me just bring that up on here on my little iPad, which is dying of electricity. I've got 7% left. Well, we'll probably be able to do that. Experts are warning us about toilet paper. They're urging us to ditch it. In the Daily Mirror this morning, says, I find it rather baffling that millions of people are walking around with dirty bums while thinking they are clean. This is a story in the Daily Mirror this morning. It's a shopping list staple, goes the story, and the root of many an argument in house shares. But the humble loo roll also finds itself the subject of doctors' warnings. Toilet paper may be the sort of household item you've never really given a second thought to, but maybe you should. Not only could our toilet paper habit be doing us more harm than good, but it's actually a really ineffective way of cleaning ourselves. Did you know this? You probably did. I mean, sometimes, you've gone for a wipe and you've had a look and oh, it's still dirty. You know what I mean? Sorry if you're having your breakfast this morning, Ethe. Sorry. Rose George, author of The Big Necessity, The Unmentionable Word of Human Waste and Why It Matters. I find it rather baffling that millions of people are walking around with dirty bums while thinking they are clean. While we all feel suitably icky, it's important to note that in countries such as South Korea, Japan, Egypt, Greece and Italy, bidets are commonplace. Has anyone used... I've never used a bidet. I don't know how to. What do you do with it? I mean, how do you use one of those things? Bidets score a few points over toilet papers. Toilet paper. Not only are they believed to be more environmentally friendly than loo roll, but water also does a much thorough job of cleaning our bottoms. You knew that anyway, didn't you? Did you know that? Another solution is using baby wipes instead of paper. Now, I have to say, I've got I use toilet wet wipes. Do you? I use toilet wet wipes, but important not to put them down the toilet. Whatever you do, don't put them down the toilet because that's bad. It blocks out. You have to fold them up and put them in your household waste, okay? Baby wipes already have a few celebrity fans, and you can get those quite cheaply as well. In Aldi, they're like 55 pence. Everywhere else, they're £1. Go to Aldi for your toilet wipes, okay? Speaking to Ellie magazine, rapper and singer will.i.am once said, here's proof on why people should have baby wipes. Okay. You can do this experiment at home. You ready for this? This is what you've got to do. Get some chocolate, wipe it on a wooden floor, and then try and get it up with some dry towels. You're going to get chocolate in the cracks. Use a baby wipe, and it's all gone. Perhaps you could try that with the people that you live with. Chuck some chocolate on the floor and rub it in with your foot, and then give them the toilet paper and wet wipes and see which one cleans it up first. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Maybe we all actually know this anyway, but we just don't do anything about it. Using toilet paper in an aggressive manner can cause painful fissures, which can take 8 to 12 weeks to heal, and even hemorrhoids. You don't want those hanging around you. Oh, the pain, dear. You also get infections, whereas using a bidet or wipes would be much gentler on our bottoms and would wash away pretty much all of the harmful bacteria that are lurking down there. So there you go, boys and girls. In future, I want to hear by the next show tomorrow morning. Hopefully we're with you tomorrow morning around about the same time. I want to hear by tomorrow that you've started using wet wipes. Please tell me you're going to do that. I'm only thinking of your health. Only thinking of your health, okay? Let's have a look there. Boo, boo, boo. Roy, disposable ones from Home Bargains, Kris. Biodegradable, look at that. I use tea tree wet wipes. I don't know, I haven't seen the tea tree ones. Or they sound a bit, that sounds like something you get from Waitrose, is it? Eh? John Parrish, we use bum guns here. Is that what you call bidets? Bum guns? Jet up your bum is a bidet, is it really? I heard you say you use sandpaper. No, John. Do you mind, Kris? I'm just finishing off my chocolate Cocoa Pops. Cocoa Pops, spinning tops. Toilet roll is like sandpaper. Yeah, someone's eating Maltesers. I'm putting them off, John. Sorry. Tea tree are good, but they sting. Like disinfectant, isn't it? All right, let's do today's birthdays, gang. We're going to do today's birthdays and yesterday's birthdays, as we weren't there yesterday. Happy 52nd birthday for today to Chris DeVays. Good morning to you, Chris DeVays. Happy birthday. Oh, my foot. Oh, I've got a damaged ligament or something wrong going on at the back of my foot there that I may or may not have to be to the doctor. I'm going to give it a couple of weeks before I do anything about it. But if I move my foot in a certain way, it kind of, you can feel like a click or something going on. It's not bone. It's definitely not bone. It's something that's moving. It seems to be connected somehow to my big toe. So if I move my big toe in a certain way, it really hurts. It really hurts. Happy 57th birthday today to Audrey Gray. Good morning, Audrey. Happy birthday to you. Jack James. Hello, Jack. 30 years old on this Wednesday, Halloween night. You're all Halloween people, aren't you? Halloween. Are you all witches and ghosts and goblins and demons if you're born today? Dawn Breaks. Dawn Breaks. That's a great name, isn't it? One of our drag queens, I think. 32 years old today. Callum, who I used to work with at a place in Ealing. Kalim O'Hussein is 34 years old today. Dame Barbara Monsoon. We got royalty watching us. A dame watches this programme. 75 years old today. Happy birthday to you, my dear. Logan Lucky is 30 years old today. Dave Murray. Good morning, Dave. Happy birthday to you. And Shelli Constantine's birthday today. They're today's birthdays for you boys and girls. Happy birthday to you all for today. Hope you have a lovely day. All right. Something very special about birthdays. I hope someone's, bought you something nice or made you feel a bit special. And perhaps if you've got no one with you, go out and do something, buy something for yourself today. I know there's lots of people on their own for their birthdays. Go and do something for yourselves, all right? Yesterday's birthdays. 60 years old yesterday was Rosalind Ross. Happy birthday for yesterday, Rosalind. All right. 60 yesterday. Mathew Trixie Lee. Are you the person in Gran Canaria I did the voiceover for? I think I might have done a little opening video or an opening jingle for your show. I'm not sure, in Gran Canaria. 31 years old yesterday. Happy birthday to you for yesterday, Mathew. Courtney Jewett Mills. His birthday yesterday, as indeed Mark Bircham. 52 yesterday. Rebecca Shaw. Happy birthday for yesterday. Jeffrey Ewangow. Good morning. Who was raising money yesterday for the Albert Kennedy Trust on his birthday. £100 raise of £150 so far. So good luck with reaching your target on there. Happy birthday for yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, Happy birthday to you on your wonderful birthdays. Okay? Adam, do you remember toilet paper in school was like tracing paper? Yeah, that was awful, that stuff, weren't it? I mean, got those. Surely they haven't got that now. Health and safety. Oh no, can't use that. Might have a bit of damage done there. Health and safety, mate. Yeah, a bit like that, isn't it? Angela, gout or arthritis in your toe? No, it's not in the toe. The pain is not in the toe. The pain, I'll show you. The pain is here. Hang on. I'm going to have to take my sock off to show you this. Look at this. Right, here we are. Oh, God, how am I going to show? Right. So the pain is here. It's here. This bit here. In between the ankle and back of the foot. And I believe there's a ligament there. There's something that moves there. Like a long thing. I think that's a ligament. And if I move my foot or big toe in a certain way, that's what causes the pain. The toe doesn't hurt. That's what causes the pain at the back of the foot there. So it must be something. I think it's probably due to all the walking I was doing last week in Vegas. We were doing like 10 miles a day. Something like that. Angela, have you ever tried to wipe your bum with your left hand? I bet you can't. Oh, that's enough talk about bums and things like that. John Paris, hamstring. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm hoping that it will cure itself. Perhaps, fingers crossed there. Weird cynicism, maybe a vein that temporarily ran over ankle. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but never mind. Anyway, that's it for the show today. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm going to pop over to the swimming pool today. Now, I've got something else. What else have I got to do today? I'm going swimming and something else as well. I can't remember. I'm sure I should ring up. Oh, excuse me. I should ring up my sister and she remind me. I'm sure I was doing something else as well this morning. I'm going over to my niece's tonight for Halloween. I'll take the camera with us, see if I can get a little bit of a video for the Halloween night. I think they're going out trick or treat. I hope they're not expecting me to go. Can you imagine me knocking at your trick or treat? Yeah, some of you are going to be giving me up with those wrapped up Brussels sprouts, wouldn't you? Thanks, gang. Have a lovely Wednesday. Keep warm out there. I know it's very, very cold. Warm weather returning in a couple of days. And happy Halloween to you.